The tech, yeah.
I haven't needed a lot of equipment as far as I can tell thus far. Plus, Jonathan bought a new camera. His camera just died, and so he bought himself a new camera.
It's fun to have the new camera, have the new tools, but we haven't ever used these specific tools before. We don't know how to make the GH4 sing.
We're going to jump up in resolution. We're going to jump up in quality.
I got to remind myself with this new piece of technology that I still have to tell a good story, and that's based more on characters and story, choreography, and composition of shots and lighting and those kinds of things, rather than the fact that my camera can shoot 4K.
4K is such a high resolution that your computer can't just play the footage, not without spending like $20,000 on a computer, which is not how much I've spent on mine. And so I had to figure out this whole round trip process of take your high resolution footage, export it in lower resolution, edit the movie, export the movie back to just the edits back to your 4K footage, and then can you color grade from there?
That's the other thing. 4K is like 38 something by 2160. But it's kind of just like ultra high definition. There's also DCI 4K, which is like 4,000 something by 2160. So it's this new format, trying to get our handle on it because it's our first time shooting on it. So that's been something that we've been experimenting with and learning about and Googling and then trying in the post workflow and seeing if it will or will not work.
I'm hoping to use Davinci Resolve again. Davinci Resolve 12 is now out. It's been out. And so going back in there and saying, okay, can I edit 4K? Because there's confusing stuff on the website about what you can do and how and what works and what doesn't. And then I pulled in the GH4 footage and there were little black bars at the top and bottom. I'm like, what is that indicative of? Is that a problem? And so it's been a long process of just kind of Googling a lot and not finding anything, and then beating my head against the program for a little while and saying, okay, there it is, that's kind of working, okay, let's export it, there's still black bars, why are there black bars? In fact, one of the very first tests that I did was I just took the footage, I rendered out 5 seconds of that footage and uploaded it to YouTube because I didn't believe that it was actually 4K footage. And lo and behold, there it says 4K. Boom, sweet. Okay, so that's working. But then can I color grade? Can I export? Can I do all that? So that has been a major part of the tech piece that we're working on right now.
So why do I need a 4K camera? Why do I need that tech? On one hand, no, I don't really need it. On the other hand, I find that it's going to be very beneficial in the long run and immediately going forward in this project. And it's not so much the 4K, the format itself, that's the thing I'm focusing on, as much as some of the other abilities the camera has. Canon T2i's battery is decent, but it's not super long. The GH4's is. The recording time for the T2i is only like 12 minutes and you gotta restart. The GH4 doesn't have a recording limit. It doesn't overheat. It doesn't have that problem. The Wi-Fi enabled app, the external monitoring thing, that's actually becoming something where we want a bigger crew, and to have that kind of ability is something that's functional and is not overly expensive. It's a good workaround right now. It's effective for what we would like to do. Also speaking, 4K is something coming in the future. So buying the 4K camera is not just what I need now, it's what I think I'm going to need in the future.
What's next in tech, as far as I can tell, is we need to figure out audio. For the longest time, I've had my external recorder and a microphone, but it's always recorded really low-level audio, which is pretty cool because I can go and I can get rid of some of the hiss and I can bump it up and it's great. But it means that the audio quality at the start is kind of, it's really unusable because you can't hear it at all. Like, I have no idea. So audio syncing is a pain. There's just a lot of problems with it. And so our hope this film is that we'll actually figure out how to get a stronger signal while recording on set using the boom mic and whatever else, and just figure out what audio equipment we need. So that's kind of next steps as far as tech is concerned.
There's a V-Log interface for the GH4. I've been talking to Luke a lot about it because, as I understand it, this interface allows you, this firmware update allows you to basically get an extra couple steps of dynamic range. And if you don't know what that means, essentially it lets me get more information between bright lights and dark darks. So I get more information in the camera when we record, which could potentially mean not needing to have more lights or potentially changing the ball game and how we shoot things. And also in the editing process gives Luke more range in color space and in color editing and in visual image. He has more information. So if he wants to crush the blacks, he can, but if he wants them to be a little bit brighter, he has that information. that's a pretty cheap option right now. We're looking at that. Is that the next big purchase? So what's the next big purchase? It's actually a lot of different things. We don't necessarily know. There's an app called Shotpro which allows you to do a previs on a tablet or a phone. Get my storyboards and my overheads and all that done at once and kind of plan it out with, I mean, point is, it looks very promising. And it does help the process of making the movie before you make the movie.
But right now it's audio and it's 4K. Are we editing it right? Is there a different setting that I'm supposed to do on the timeline? That kind of question is where we are with tech. Currently, a month in-ish, and we're still several months out from actually starting to produce. But we are recording things and trying stuff out. So we'll see where we go, and I'll keep you updated on the things we're learning and the stuff that we're trying as we go forward from here.